It's 3 a.m. In the absolute silence of your bedroom, your brain suddenly replays a social blunder from years ago, an awkward comment or a failed joke. You feel it as actual physical discomfort, a sharp wince that makes you shift in bed as if you've been struck. Research from the University of Michigan suggests this physical reaction is exactly what it looks like. By monitoring brain activity, scientists discovered that social rejection and physical injury are processed through the same neural pathways. To prove this, researchers placed recently rejected individuals into MRI scanners. While their brain activity was recorded, these subjects were asked to view photographs of people who had recently ended relationships with them. Results showed recalling social pain activates the secondary somatosensory cortex and dorsal posterior insula, the primary regions used to understand physical pain. The brain interprets spilling hot coffee on your arm and remembering a severe social mistake identically. Both trigger a genuine pain response. If these memories carry the same weight as a physical injury, it raises a significant question. Why does the brain intentionally trigger this pain in the middle of the night, right when you are trying to sleep? During the day, your focus is distributed across tasks, conversations, and environmental noise. This constant stimulation occupies your attention, effectively drowning out unresolved memories. When that noise stops at night, a system called the default mode network, or DMN, activates. This is your brain's background maintenance system, and it begins to run the moment your mind goes idle. This system employs a negativity bias to review your history. It prioritizes social mistakes over positive experiences, elevating your most embarrassing moments while discarding neutral data points. For early humans, this bias was a survival mechanism. Social rejection meant being cast out of the tribe, a situation that led to certain death. The DMN tags shame as life or death data. It surfaces these memories because it classifies social errors as critical threats that you must review to ensure your future safety. This review process feels particularly intense at 3 a.m. because your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic and reasoning, powers down as you prepare for sleep. You are left without your internal moderator. At the same time, physical fatigue makes the amygdala, your emotional center, significantly more reactive. Studies indicate it becomes up to 60% more sensitive to negative emotions when you are tired. This creates a volatile state for memory reconsolidation. Recalling a memory makes it temporarily unstable, allowing it to be modified before the brain saves it again. Because you are accessing these memories with a hyper-reactive amygdala and no logical moderation, you reconstruct and resave the event with even more anxiety attached to it than before. This creates a self-feeding loop. By reliving the embarrassment in this highly emotional biological state, you are strengthening the memory and making it more painful for the next time it surfaces. Since your logical prefrontal cortex is offline at 3 a.m., standard reasoning often fails. Stopping the cycle requires behavioral adjustments that signal safety to the brain. One method is diffusion. By stepping back and observing the thought, labeling it as, "My brain is replaying a memory," you create distance. This shift disrupts the emotional intensity and prevents the reinforcement of the pain. Another approach involves scheduled worry time. Dedicating 10 minutes during the day to actively process these thoughts provides the default mode network with the resolution it needs, reducing its tendency to search for those files at night. You can also process a memory through 3 stages: flush, fix, and forget. You separate the action from your identity, adjust your approach for the future, and then give yourself permission to close the file. This process reveals that the threat identified by the brain is often a psychological illusion known as the spotlight effect. We overestimate how much others care about our mistakes, which means the DMN is replaying a survival warning for a danger that no longer exists in anyone else's mind. The people involved in your memory likely forgot the event immediately. Everyone else is the main character of their own story, lying awake in the dark, focusing entirely on their own perceived failures. The 3 a.m. cringe is simply ancient survival software running a routine maintenance check. Recognizing the mechanism allows you to neutralize the perceived threat and finally allow your brain to rest.